Hi guys, welcome to another video. So this week, the reading that I'm going to do for you is titled, What the Fuck is Going On Right Now? So this will be a pick a card. You are welcome to watch all the readings, more than one reading. I'm going to show you a different oracle card. These are from the Animal Kin Oracle. And so there is an animal and a message for each one. And so let me show you those right now. We've got for group number one, the Bluebird, and the message is pleasure. Group number two, we've got the snake, and the message is transformation. And group number three is the Kingfisher, and the message is peace. And so each of these cards has a number associated with it. So the Bluebird number is 41. The snake number is 37. And the Kingfisher number is 49. So if you are into numerology, each of these numbers reduces down to a whole number. So 41, 4 plus 1 is 5. For the Bluebird card, 3 plus 7 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1 for the snake. And then 4 plus 9 is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4 for the Kingfisher. So for each of these piles, I will be pulling cards from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different decks. It's a mix of tarot and oracle. And the messages that I'll be asking the cards about are what is the issue? So I'm going to pull 1 oracle and 2 tarot for this question. The next question is going to be, what do you need to learn or see? I'll pull 2 tarot cards for that. Next is what needs to change. I'll also pull 2 tarot cards for that. The next question is, how long will the issue last, or when will things start to shift? And I'll pull 1 oracle card for that to get a time frame. And then the last group of cards is a message of support from the universe, and that'll be 3 oracle cards. So take all the time that you need to pick a deck. If there's an animal or a message or a color, or even that number that resonates for you. And like I said, feel free to pick all 3. And so let's get into the reading of your choice for what the fuck is going on right now. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the reading. Hello, group number 1. So if you chose the Bluebird and the message for that card was pleasure, then this is your reading. So I will be pulling quite a few cards, or I have pulled quite a few cards for you guys for this reading. So I pulled 3 cards for what is the issue. I pulled 2 tarot cards for what it is that you need to learn or see. I pulled another 2 tarot cards for what needs to change. And then I pulled a Moonology Oracle card for how long will the issue last, or like when will you start to see a shift. And then I've pulled 3, is it 3? Yes, 3 tarot cards for support from the universe. So as you can see, I have quite a few decks of cards here. So I just wanted for you guys to see the cards that I'm using for the reading. And if you're interested in, if there's a card that you like that catches your eye, then you'll be able to kind of see like the name of the deck. So group number 1, let's get into this reading to figure out what in the fuck is going on lately. And I feel like lately is a very loose subjective term, right? Because I think things just come in waves, right? So whenever you're seeing this reading, this is the lately that we're talking about, right? So this can be something that you've been dealing with for a while. This could be something that is more recent for you. So the first card that the first card that I'm going to pull for you is from the Archetype Cards deck by Carolyn Miss. And so the card that came up is Visionary, and it came up in the reverse. So we're going to focus on the shadow attributes for this card. And it says, shadow attributes are selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. And so I feel like one part of this issue, for you may be that you're struggling to be your most authentic self, right? You're struggling to live into that vision that you have visioned for yourself. That maybe is unconventional. And I feel like unconventional is subjective, right? The things that maybe are unconventional to me might be extremely like conventional to somebody else, right? So I feel like this card is really calling you to pay attention to what is in alignment with your most authentic expression of yourself. And that has to do a lot with your vision. So this is the first card around like, what is the issue? So the following two cards that I'm going to pull also have to do with what the issue is for your reading. So we've got, very interesting. So we've got two nines. We've got the Nine of Pentacles and we've got the Nine of Wands. And so I love this. Okay, I will tell you why I love this. Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence, like self-sustainability, everything that the Queen of Pentacles person has, everything that you have, you've worked very, very hard for, right? And so with the Visionary card in the light, in the upright position, I didn't even read that to you guys. So the light attributes are capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So for you to embody the Nine of Pentacles, you had to have a vision of some sort, right? And I think that like with the Visionary card, this is very like big picture vision. It can also be something very simple, right? Like you can visualize a promotion for yourself, right? You can have a vision and a plan for yourself to get a promotion in whatever position that you're in. But with this Nine of Pentacles, you don't trip and fall into the Nine of Pentacles. Like you put the work in, you're doing the work, you're doing the thing, or things, every day. Like it's not like Nine of Pentacles is not you won the lottery, right? Nine of Pentacles is, you're showing up, you're doing the work, you're learning how to improve. You're taking the time to invest in this thing, that you're wanting to, to master or to build upon or to improve upon. And sometimes that comes at a cost, right? There's a sacrifice for that because maybe you're taking your personal time, maybe you're taking your lunch hour, maybe you're waking up early, or showing up early or doing extra. And so this Nine of Pentacles, energy really matches with the Visionary. This Nine of Wands card is, we can see, like this is a warrior, right? This is a badass warrior. Like this is someone that has like been through, like the flame and the fire. Like they know their strength because they've been through it, right? Nine of Pentacles knows their worth because we're always with ourselves. Well, no, that's not true. I think that sometimes like we can be detached from our circumstances and ourselves. We can be in denial. But the Nine of Pentacles knows their worth because they were there and they were very aware of all the time, energy, blood, sweat, tears that went into getting them to this place. Right. And this is a place of relaxation, of I did it. I'm here because I earned it. Nine of Wands knows that they're strong. They know their capabilities because they've been through battles and they've made it to the other side. And so I love the 2 9s with this card in reverse, because again, the shadow attribute says selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. And so what it feels like to me is this visionary, okay, this visionary card with these 2 cards, especially in the shadow attribute, like what it feels like to me is the issue is that you have suppressed your own vision because that was part of your journey, right? That maybe you had this vision for yourself and you didn't know if you were worthy enough, right? And you didn't know if you had the fortitude for it. But now you've been through the battle, you made it out to the other side. You put so much work in, and you can see your worth. You recognize your worth, your value. And so this visionary card, like coming up in the reverse, because you had to go through all these things, like you're coming to the end of that cycle. And I think the issue is that you're tired. It's been hard, but you're almost there. Like you're so close. Because you can see what your value is, because you know how strong you are. Now we can shift from compromising what your vision is to be accepted, to the willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain, to capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, right? So I feel like having a vision, having a dream is very, very risky, and God, it's extremely vulnerable to share it with other people, right? Because even the people that love us the most, like we can share those things. And as human beings, I think we're so conditioned to project our fear onto other people as a means of protecting them, that what it does is it kind of like it rains on our parade. I was going to say it shits in our cereal, which I don't know where that came from, which is very graphic. So apologies, but you get what I'm saying, that like we can't share this with everybody. And so the fact that you have a vision and you've made it through these really difficult times and you've been doing the work to like learn your worth, is this really an issue? No, this is not an issue. But I think what the issue is for the purposes of the reading is that you're so close, and you might be really tired. You might be really struggling with like, how do I keep going? God, how do I keep going? Like, I pick myself up and I get back at it every day, and then something happens to like knock me right back down again. And we see, I think in the traditional depiction, like the person might have their arm in a sling, or they might have like a bandage or something. She's got knee pads on, which I love. And like we don't really see any like wounds on her, but she's fierce. And so I love the knee pads because it's like she's prepared, and she's planned ahead to protect herself, right? That like I know that there's a possibility. We're not manifesting it, like I'm not calling it in, but I know that I'm in a phase of battle, and so I'm gonna do the things to protect myself in case I get knocked down, because I understand that can happen, and I'm gonna get back up because I'm fierce. So those are the cards that I pulled for the actual issue. And so the next 2 cards that I'm going to pull are for the question of what do you need to learn or see? Like, why is this experience coming up for you? And I feel like it's going to, yeah, I'm just going to show you the cards. So, so I don't look at these before the reading, like I pull them and then like it's a surprise to me. So I apologize for the suspense, because like I see it and you can't see it. So the two cards that came up are the Empress and the Tower. And so I definitely feel like you're in a tower moment, right? And so tower upright, like it looks scary, and it looks kind of, like these people are falling out of the tower. And like they're so cute. I love the Happy Tarot. It's like, I think it's probably like my favorite deck of all time. But, when we have a tower moment, like these people had a choice, right? Like they could have stayed in the tower and like gone down with it. But a lot of times, like when we're in these situations where like we're not living our authenticity and we're having to fight every day. How do we get out of that, right? Like sometimes we need to call in a tower. And I think that every adult human being, for the most part, like I don't want to say everyone or all people are always, but like I think that there's a lot of people like that have called in tower moments. Have you quit a job? Have you broken up with someone? Have you ended a friendship? Have you moved? Right? Like tower doesn't have to be death and destruction, but it's a life-changing ending. It's a big ending. And so for you to sell your vision so that you can get permission to have a dream, and then learn how strong and how worthy you are. That energy can't exist, right? Like they're opposing energies. Like it's conformity to a system that you don't believe in while trying to live your most authentic, unconventional expression. Like those two things can't exist at the same time. It's like oil and water. So for you to make any kind of shift, right? Whether it's to wholeheartedly move into the space of you living as a true visionary, living your vision, your dream, or if you commit to selling that vision for the purposes of whatever you need, like maybe you're deciding to sell your vision. Maybe I don't want to say sell out. That's so harsh. But maybe you're deciding to adjust your vision for the purposes of conforming because you need to make ends meet. Like in this economy, no judgment here. But either way, right? Either way, if you know your worth and you've decided that you still need to sell your vision to accommodate to others, or you've been accommodating and now you've learned your worth and you can't live that way anymore, either of those things it requires a tower, right? Like it requires a massive change to happen. And so what you're being invited to see is that like there's some big upheaval, there's some big change that needs to happen in your life. And it's always for our highest good. Like, yes, it's chaotic. Yes, we hate it. But when we look here, there's this thing. What even is this, right? Like, is that a pillow? Is it like a safety net? Like the universe is always there conspiring for our highest good. So in the moments that like it seems the craziest, which like if you're watching this reading, like things are already like there's something chaotic or confusing happening in your life right now. So, this might be welcome, right? You might be like, I'm over it. Like whatever needs to happen for me to change, give me a backpack. I'm jumping out of the plane. I don't care. Like, let's go. Let's get it. So this big change is needed. And I kind of feel like this big change is probably already happening for you. You're probably very aware of it. And the thing that you need to see is that big change is happening for this new version of you to be welcomed in. I was going to say birthed, but it doesn't feel like that. Like this is already a part of you. It needs space to come in. And so this is the Empress. The Empress card is abundance. There's a lot of depictions of the Empress like being pregnant, right? So like abundant with life, like you're one person with a whole other person's, you're growing a life, comfort, ease, and it doesn't have to just be like, it doesn't just have to apply if you're a woman. Like this can apply however you identify or don't identify with gender. But this is a card of fertility in the concept of legitimate, anatomical like fertility, like having babies, making babies, growing babies, as well as like fertility of energy and ideas, right? You can be fertile with ideas. And this is what is being invited to come in, which is very much in alignment with this visionary card, right? Because we look at this visionary and they're kind of holding this globe. They're birthing something. They're birthing this idea, these concepts. They're birthing this vision. And so this tower moment is coming because change is needed for you to live your most authentic expression, which I feel like is awesome. Like so awesome. Like who doesn't want that? Okay, so the next two cards that I'm going to share with you are what needs to change. So we see that this change is coming. So let's find out what it is that needs to change. So I got both of the cards were reversed, so I'm going to read them as upright. The first card is the King of Pentacles. And so the next card is the Lovers. So let's look at the King of Pentacles first. I just wanna show there's some matching here, right? Luxury, comfort, grapes are a symbol of luxury. I was trying to see if there's grapes in the Empress card, but there is not. There is purple. But so the thing that needs to change is that you have to learn to receive. Like you have to learn to accept that it's your birthright to live in abundance, which sounds really bananas, right? Like who doesn't want to be rich? But I think like when you kind of really like try to bring that in and embody it, like we're confronted with a lot of things, right? So like if you come from an upbringing where maybe you're financially or you were or are financially illiterate, you grew up not having enough, you identify with not having enough, you struggle to receive, you have a worthiness wound, that like you've been taught that you have to fight for whatever you get. That makes this receptivity, and both of these cards are about receptivity, that makes it very challenging and very uncomfortable. And so because you've been through the shit and you know that you are strong enough, you've put in the time and effort, like you know that you are worthy, what we need to do, it's almost like an alchemization of self-belief where you know that you are worthy because you've put the work in to earn things. And so what we can do is leave off the last part of that sentence, right? Instead of saying, I know that I'm worthy because I can work hard to earn things, we just say, I know that I'm worthy. And if I know that I'm worthy, then that means that I deserve all the good things that are coming to me. King of Pentacles is money, abundance. Empress is abundance. This is free flow. This is when we think about the Empress and we go back to the analogy of pregnancy, like you can't earn a baby, right? Like you can't earn pregnancy. Like from a biological perspective, an anatomical perspective, like You're born with the anatomy that you're born with. And even if you're born with the anatomy to procreate or to grow a baby, not all of us that are biologically able to grow children actually can, right? There's people that like have fertility issues. There's people that have, just any number of issues that prevent them from having children, male or female. And so you can't earn the right to make a child, right? You can't like, I mean, yes, you can go somewhere and pay, to like have in vitro fertilization and things like that done, but there's no guarantee. It's not like when you buy a hamburger, like you pay the price for the hamburger and they're going to give you a hamburger. Like even in those situations, like there's not a guarantee that that's going to work. And so I say all that because when it comes to like divine abundance and being divinely gifted something, there's no earning involved. It's being given to you because the universe has decided that you're going to get it. And really like the change that needs to happen in this kind of worthiness thing is, instead of hemming and hawing and like not wanting to give the universe your address to deliver the package, give them your fucking address. It's like the universe is like like a FedEx guy, right? Or girl, like driving around like, okay, where do I take this package? Like, where does it go? I don't know. Or like, I don't know, even, I was going to say Postmates. Is that a thing anymore? I don't know. Essentially, the universe is trying to deliver things to you, and you're trying to figure out if you're good enough to let the universe know where you are. And the universe is like, no, but like, I just want to bring this to your house. Like, please, I just need to deliver this somewhere. Like, I don't have time to argue with you about whether you're good enough or not. Like, I don't have time to convince you why you need to give me your address. Like, this literally, like, this has your name on it. I just want to bring it to your house. Tell me where you are, please, for the love of God. I have a jillion other of these to deliver to everybody else. So one of the things that you need to change is believing, accepting. Just accept that you're worthy, please. Just accept that you're worthy. Quit fighting your inherent worthiness and just let the universe shower you with all the amazing things. Please. Thank you. Okay. So the other thing that you are being invited to change is the Lover's card. And so the Lover's card represents like Gemini. It's the twins. It's also a mirror that like we see these two, little baby unicorns just looking at each other. And there's this angel up here and the sun. So there's this divine light, divine blessing that I feel like, again, this is about receiving. I'm going to keep beating a dead unicorn until you just accept that you're being invited, you're being demanded by the universe to look at the part of you that believes that you are not worthy, despite all this, to look it in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror, and say to yourself, like, I'm worthy. I deserve this. I deserve all the good things that are coming. I deserve all the good things that are coming plus some. I deserve all the things that I've been waiting for, that I can't even wrap my little human mind around the abundance and prosperity and amazing, massive universe hug lovingness of. That's a lot, right? So just maybe in the meantime, if I could invite you to work on, I am worthy. And then looking yourself in the mirror, in the eyeballs, and saying, I'm worthy. If you really want to go hard, if you really want to go hard on the mirror work, I invite you to look in the mirror, tell yourself, I love you 3 times. and then just ugly cry until you laugh like a crazy person or need to take a break and blow your nose. That's like, I feel like that's a radical act of self-love, to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you 3 times, because that shit is hard. If you've never done it, it's hard and it's powerful. And, yeah. And you're absolutely worthy of your own love. Absolutely. So those were the things that you are being invited to change. Just accept that you deserve all the good things that are coming, and like love yourself, like radically, like look in the mirror, look for the parts of you that don't believe that you're loving, and just tell that motherfucker, hey, I love you and you deserve this. And like we made it. So the next question that I'm going to pull the card, the Moonology Oracle card for, is how long is... Too many cards. How long is this issue going to last, right? Or even like, how long will it take for things to shift? For me to move from compromising my vision to be acceptable to... recognizing my worth, recognizing my strength, and like living into my full vision. So that card is, surrender to the divine. So this is a full moon. So we just had a full moon. So if you have a time machine, you could travel back like 2 days and then this will happen, but but you probably don't. And if you did, you'd probably be living in like pre-COVID times. In that case, take me with you. But so I feel like some of you are going to see like a big shift with the next full moon. But I think what it's actually going to be is actually like a buildup over the next 30 days. I think it's going to be a buildup of edging closer to, what is my authentic self-expression, right? Like, because you can't unsee, right? You can't unsee your worthiness and your strength at this point, because I've shoved it in your face. You can't unsee that a big change needs to happen, so that this amazing abundance can come into your life. And you can't unsee that the universe wants to bring you amazing things, and that you just have to work on believing that you are worthy of those things. So I feel like over the next 30 days, as we get closer to this full moon, some of you like that you'll get maybe a couple days after the next full moon, and there's going to be a shift. And I think for probably a lot more of you, it's going to be like like an uptick, like like riding a roller coaster, right? Like where it's like you're going up and it's like click, 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 click. It's going to be like that, where you're like, you'll be able to feel the momentum, but you won't recognize the shift until maybe for some of you, I think the eclipse, which is, it's a new moon eclipse. So it's a solar eclipse on the 20th of April. I feel like that's going to shake things up for a lot of us, but I feel like that's going to, it's going to be a little jolt. Okay, maybe a big jolt. So it's kind of like if you're driving and somebody in front of you slams on the brakes and then you slam on the brakes and it's like, oh fuck, almost had a car accident, but you didn't, but your body's just like, what is happening? Right? So I feel like around the eclipse, like that's like for quite a few of you, like it's going to be that feeling of like, whoa, like very visceral kind of, shocking, uncomfortable, but nothing bad's happened, right? Like we didn't have an accident. Nobody hit us. We didn't hit anybody. But like, fuck, like it might be a reality check. And I think that, 2 weeks after that will be the Scorpio full moon. Yes, because we'll be in Taurus. And Yeah, this makes so much sense because Scorpio is about transformation, right? Scorpio is about sex, death, and rebirth, right? So we had, the suspense. We had, the Empress, which is birth, like sex leads to birth. And then this tower, is the destruction and the rebirth, tearing things down so that new things can come in. The full moon is going to be about release. So I feel like really it's going to be like you're not going to be able to live as that shadow visionary anymore. You're not going to be able to, I don't feel like the word that's coming to my mind is quell. Like you're not going to be able to quell your vision to allow people to be comfortable with who you are. Yeah. You're not going to be able to temper your vision anymore. That Scorpio, I feel like Scorpio full moons are always super powerful, and it'll be like in eclipse season too. So that April 20th solar eclipse starts the eclipse window. So typically during eclipse season, we'll have like one solar and one lunar. I haven't looked far enough ahead to see, like, I think last year there was like three eclipses in one of the eclipse seasons. So typically eclipse season is like spring and fall, or like late fall. But now I distracted myself. What was I talking about? Oh, Scorpio full moon, very powerful. Scorpio full moons are a great time for releasing things that you're like done with. Like it's a hard release, right? Like any like full moon ceremony can release things, but like if you're going to release something during a Scorpio full moon, which that next full moon will be, you're done. Like there's no resurrection. It's not coming back. It's like hard complete. So you'll like this transformation period for you is going to be the next 30 days. So the last little notes. So the last 3 oracle cards that I'm going to pull for you are messages of support from the universe. So I'll be pulling I pulled one from the Animal Kin Oracle, Wisdom for Healing, and then the Kali Oracle. So the Animal Kin Oracle is, it's a duck, which is so cute because Easter's this weekend. And this card is knowing, which I feel like is so perfect, right? Like you know that you're a visionary. You just, is it okay that I'm a visionary? Like that's the feeling that's coming up. Like am I allowed to be a big thinker? Am I allowed to be a big dreamer? And there's a great possibility that you were told somewhere along the way that you're not. So I am telling you 1,000,000% you absolutely have permission to be a visionary and a dreamer and a mad scientist for creating whatever like thing, product, life, concept, whatever it is that you want to create. Absolutely. 1,000,000,000% you have permission to do that. And I would welcome you to do that as soon as you're ready, but you already are. Anyways, 30 days. So this knowing card, you know that you're a visionary. You know how strong you are. Almost dropped that. You know how worthy you are. Now, it's just integrating that knowingness to receive all the things that the universe wants to give you. So this is your little baby duck. So if you're watching this in real time over Easter weekend, or really any time, whenever you watch this reading, whenever you see a duck, I would invite you to take that as a message from the universe saying like, hey, you know who you are, and you know what you were brought here to do. You know what you volunteered to come here to do. You know who you are. You're a visionary. and like enjoy that knowing, right? Like enjoy that, because I think we can live our lives in a lot of confusion, especially right now. It's chaos. I mean, which is like the title of the reading, like what the fuck's going on right now. So this is this little ducky was the first card. So the next one is the Wisdom for Healing card, and it is remain centered. So you got this person meditating. The Wisdom for Healing and the Archetype cards are both done by Carolyn Miss. She does a lot of archetype work, but I would just like to point out that these are literally the same person. Maybe. Well, she's got some hair under there, but maybe she got a haircut, or he, or they, right? So this card is remain centered. So the message is today's lesson: focus on conscious tranquility. No matter how stressful the day is, your intention is to remain centered and calm. Your goal is to learn that you can control your psychic energy. What? I love that. I love it. Love that. And again, remain centered, visionary. Learn to control your psychic energy. And this message about learning to control your psychic energy, I feel like this is powerful, because we, I think in like spiritual development, personal development, like in the spirituality realm, like we talk about the power of thoughts, like, right, manifestation, all these things. But like as a visionary, like a visionary is different than like someone that just visualizes things. Like a visionary is someone who has visions, as in psychic visions. And so you may be aware, you may not be aware that you have some psychic abilities. And I feel like all people have the potential to have them. Not all people maybe have like the genetic spiritual predisposition. Definitely not all people have the willingness, right? There's a lot of fear around like spiritual gifts, and like, what if I open myself up and I'm possessed by a demon? And it's like, it doesn't that's not how it works. Like, you don't trip and fall into a demon possession. It's not like it's not like you literally don't trip and fall into anything in life. But I think kind of making that jump, like, that's really drastic. But to go back to like, manifestation, spirituality, like negative thoughts, like there's a lot of discussion around like your thoughts have power, and your thoughts do have power. But learning to control your psychic energy is something completely different. Like our thoughts can create things, but in my opinion, our psychic energy can have like an almost instant reactivity to it, right? That like, have you ever been in a situation where there was some kind of heated exchange, and you walked into the room after, and you can feel it in the room? The room feels weird. The room feels heavy. That is someone pushing out some intense psychic energy that, like, a lot of times I think they're not aware of it, right? Like, I have a family member that I don't think that they're aware that they have a lot of like really powerful psychic energy, but like when they get upset, like you can feel it. Like it's visceral, like in the air, like it's tangible. And so like this is something that we don't really talk about, right? Like in spirituality, we talk about like when you're an empath, you can absorb things, right? But it's like what you're absorbing is coming from somewhere. And so like, because you're a visionary, and also because you're in the process of moving from the shadow to the positive, you may have been someone, I have been someone that has exerted, mismanaged, leaked out some kind of intense psychic energy. And I don't say that to judge you. I say that as part of this message, that you're powerful. You're powerful. And so if you have never heard that, now you know. And again, the lesson for this card of remaining centered is focus on conscious tranquility. No matter how stressful the day is, your intention is to remain centered and calm. Your goal is to learn that you can control your psychic energy. So in those times that things are rough and chaotic, I'm not saying don't feel the feelings. What I am saying is that you're being invited to stay centered, right? So when we look at the flower kind of behind this person, it's very similar to the chaos that's happening. You know, it's spouting out, it's blooming out, it's bursting out like these flames out of this building. So when you're in, that chaos of change, remembering that you are powerful and that you can control how you exert your psychic energy, right? So you can get in the car and sing. You can get in the car and find some place to drive where people aren't around and scream like a crazy person. If that works for you, it works for me. But you exercise, like some people like to run. I do not. Some people like to dance. Some people like to punch a pillow. Some people like to create art. You know, there's all these different options for how you can control your psychic energy and release it and exert it. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat. He's crying. So the last oracle card I have for you is from the Kali Oracle, and it is this one. It's Mantra Shakti. So the message is, do not allow negative thought or speech to undermine your inner spiritual connection. Claim your voice and your power to express yourself from your heart. Though it may not yet be visible in your physical world, a new order is generating within the soul, and in time it shall manifest in a transformation that heals your inner world and improves your physical life circumstances too. I could have just pulled this one card and that's your whole reading. That's too simple. Yeah, this is, I mean, this is like a mic drop card, right? Like what a powerful message that transformation is happening for the purposes of your physical world to grow. My hands are small. For your physical world to grow, right? Pentacles, Empress, like money, time, energy, abundance. So when you're here and it's crazy, just remember this is where you've been, this is who you know you are, and this is where you're going. Okay, so pile one. That was your reading for what the fuck is going on right now. So I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, if you'd be so kind as to like this video, if there's anything that like super resonated for you, or if you see a duck, I love a duck, then just send me a comment to let me know I saw a duck and I know that I'm moving in the right direction. So thank you so much for being here with me for this reading. I hope it was helpful, and I hope that it brought you some comfort in the chaos of whatever is going on for you right now. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 2. So if you chose the snake card with the message of transformation, this is your reading. So for this reading, you can see all these decks of cards. So these are all the cards that I am using for your reading. So in this reading, we're going to ask, I'm going to ask the tarot and oracle a couple different questions. The first question is, what is the issue? So I will pull, or I have pulled a card from this Archetypes deck from Carolyn Miss, as well as 2 tarot cards from the Curious Creatures deck. And then the next question is, what do you need to learn or see? 2 cards from the Happy Tarot for that question. What needs to change? 2 cards from the Crystal Unicorn deck. How long will it last, or when will things start to shift regarding your issue? That'll be a Moonology Oracle card. And then the last set of cards are Oracle cards that are support from the universe. So that'll be from the Animalkin Oracle, Wisdom for Healing, and the Kali Oracle. So let's get into your reading about what the fuck is going on right now. So the first card that I have for you is from the Archetypes deck, and it is Warrior. And so it came up in the upright. These cards have a light attribute and a shadow attribute. So since this came up in the upright position, we're going to focus on the light attribute, which is strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. Whew. So the warrior archetype, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Warriors don't get breaks. Warriors fight to the death. Warriors are skilled in battle. Battle's hard. Like there's not a lot of rest and relaxation. There's rest for the purposes of restoring the body enough to get back in the battle. So just from this card, like the thing that's coming up for me around this is that this has become an issue, that you're probably battle scarred, exhausted. There's probably a lot of trauma around this, having to always be the strong one, having to always be the warrior. Injuries, wounding. So those are just the first things that are coming up. And like I mentioned, I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards. So this is one part of what the issue is, and that's operating in that warrior archetype. Whether you've chosen to or whether you've kind of been in a position where you had to. Okay, so the 2 cards that came up, they were both in reverse, so I'm going to take them in the upright position. They are really great cards. Knight of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. So Knight of Pentacles are they are the slowest moving suit of cards. So Knight of Pentacles is very deliberate. He's a planner. He's intentional. Things need to go to plan. As far as action, and I say him, and this card, it applies to everyone. Like we all have masculine and feminine energy. So if you were a woman watching this video, this still applies to you. If you're a man watching this video, this still applies to you. But the Knight really, he's a very laborious planner. So he doesn't do anything quickly, because if you're going to do it, do it right. Do it right the first time is very much like the energy of, of the Knight of Pentacles. And so I feel like with this warrior card, I almost feel like there's some perfectionism that's coming up. That, we have to fight to be perfect. Like we have to fight to be perfect. And that's really hard. Like that's a really hard energy to be in, because like what that is kind of connotative of is that like there's this deep kind of worthiness wound, right? I have to make sure that I show up perfect every day, because that's how I earn love and approval. And that's heavy. And I don't mean that with any judgment, like recovering perfectionist here. So I totally understand it. And I understand like the heaviness of it. And so the other card that came up is the 10 of Cups. And so 10 of Cups is really like, this is the happily ever after, right? And so we've got like, you know, this little family, and like all the chakras, you know, all the colors of the rainbow, the colors of the chakras, like all the cups are full. They even have like a little dog, you know, and everybody, like both figures are facing to each other, you know, so there's this warmth, this connection, there's love, and that's the issue is this is what you want. You can't battle your way to your happily ever after, and you can't plan your way to your happily ever after. And so there's a struggle here, right? There's this conflict of, I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do. I'm doing all of the right things. I've planned it to a T. Like, I've prepared for every case situation, like worst case scenario, best case scenario, plan for all of it. Why isn't it here? Like, why? When? And yeah, I see you and I hear you and I am with you. I think a lot of us feel this way, whether it's about your happily ever after, like this is not, like for you, this may not be a family and like a love relationship. This could be like career, right? This could be that I have done all the things I'm supposed to do in my career, and why can't I just get over that last rung of the ladder? Like, I'm more than capable. I'm more than qualified. Like, why isn't this coming in for me? I think like economically, sociopolitically, like there's a lot of people that are living in this, right? That like they're doing all the things they're supposed to do. They're working in their job. They're paying their taxes. They're taking care of their kids. Like, they're voting. They're doing all the things that we're supposed to do. And like, this is so elusive, you know? And like 10 of Cups is like, all these cups are full, right? So this is abundance in the highest form. That like, there's 3 people. Did they need 10 cups? I mean, there's the little doggo too, so there's 4 of them. But between 4 of them, do they need 10 cups? No, there's 6 extra. So this is like, you know, this is having enough to, enough time, money, energy to do all the things that you have to do in your daily life, and then having excess afterwards to really enjoy your life. And so like the issue is that there's frustration, there's upset, there's hurt, there's confusion. Why is it like this? Why isn't it? Why haven't I gotten here yet? So what do you need to learn or see about this situation? So the 2 cards that I have for you are, they're both 7s. So we have a 7 of Cups and a 7 of Swords. And so let's look at the 7 of Cups first. So 7 of Cups is having lots of options and maybe struggling to make a decision, or having all good options and not knowing how to pick what's right. Because this little guy has a plan, right? This little guy plans everything to a T. This is how we're going to do it. This is exactly how it's going to go. This little guy did not plan for 7 great options, you know? And so having this little black cat here that's also looking like, the thing that you need to see may be that like, there's no wrong choice. There's no wrong choice. And for him, that might be really uncomfortable. And that's okay. It's okay to feel discomfort and overwhelm when we have too many good options. I mean, you know, of all the problems to have, not a terrible one. But also like the thing you might need to see or learn is to ask for help, ask for support, right? Because we've got got this guy, and he has a horse. He has his horse that's helping him, but he's got the horse by the reins. He's the leader. He's solely responsible, and that, again, that warrior, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. There's only one person here, right? So there's this pressure that, like, I have to do it all. I'm responsible for everything. And what you're being invited to learn or see is that, like, you have support there. Like, you have somebody that's right next to you. And, like, we can't tell if this little girl's taking stock of, like, her little black cat next to her. But they're there, so you might need to kind of, instead of, like, the day-to-day, like, drudgery of, like, digging in the land, like, doing all the planning, you might need to look up and kind of look around, like, okay, where's my support system? And this doesn't mean that you're not handing the reins over to somebody else to make the decision. Maybe you just kind of bounce some ideas off of them, or you kind of talk about, like, gosh, like these three or these two cups on the bottom row, really like those. That one in the middle, I don't really like that snake one. That's weird. Or like, oh, a little baby dragon in a castle. Like, oh my gosh, I want that. But also, like, I think I'm supposed to want this. I don't know. Like, I just need a sounding board, right? So, like, there is support around you. There's support around you. And it's okay to be overwhelmed or indecisive when you're met with, like, many great options. And it's also okay to have lots of options. So this 7 of Swords reversed, this is the other thing that you need to learn and see. And so when we look at this card in the upright, got a little guy, he's sneaking away. So we can see there's this wall, and then there's these swords on the other side. So we can assume that these were also on the other side of this wall, with the people that are in that camp. And this little guy more than likely stole 5 of the swords, right? And so, 7 of Swords is, it's about somebody doing the things that they're not supposed to do. Right? It's about a lack of accountability, because if this little guy was accountable to himself, he wouldn't have taken those. It's not the right thing to do. Or he might really need them, right? And who are we to judge this guy stealing wooden swords? What's he doing? He doesn't know. I don't know. In the reverse, like, to me, what this feels like is, how are you selling yourself short? Like, how are you allowing, in what ways are you allowing people to take advantage of you? In what ways are you not holding people accountable to you that maybe this feels like a manager that doesn't like confrontation. So instead of talking to people about not doing their jobs, they just stay late and pick up the slack for other people. So in the vein of that energy, how are you doing this? Because it's hurting you, right? Are you giving away your time, energy, and resources to people that don't appreciate them, but are happy to take them from you? Because, again, where you're moving to, where you want to move to, the issue is that you want to get here, but you can't. So the universe is saying, I have 10 full cups for you. And the universe very well may be giving you all 10 of these cups, and you may be passing them off to people that don't deserve them, because the universe has things to give to those people as well. But, they're going to have to get in alignment. Like, they're going to have to tell the universe where their address is so that they can receive what is owed to them or due to them, or that they've manifested, or they're in alignment with, or however you want to say it. But instead, they're happy to take from you, And so how are you allowing yourself to be taken advantage of? is really how it comes up. And I hope that doesn't come across as really harsh. Like, I don't mean that in like a judgy way, right? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't mean it like that. Like, how have you maybe turned a blind eye to giving things that had your name on them to people that really didn't deserve them? And I feel like they're not grateful either. I feel like they're taking it and they're just like, okay, you don't have any more? Well, you have 10 cups. Like you gave me 9. That means there's still 1. Like, we all know those people, right? Like, I don't know who this is. I don't like them. I don't like it. I don't like them. So, and this is your reading. I'm sorry. These are the things that you're being invited to learn and see, where you're being taken advantage of, and, that you have support around you to kind of bounce ideas off of. And even like, maybe you don't want to talk to them about choices. Maybe it's someone that you want to talk to about like this, like, does this ever happen to you? Or like, did you notice this? Or is this weird? Because I feel like whoever this little black cat is for you, they're very direct, but they are always in your corner, right? So they're the friend that maybe you're like, maybe you're like, ooh, I really like the crown and the jewels. And they're like, bruh, you don't like jewelry. You're just saying that you want that because such and such loves that and you want to give it to them. And then you're like, no, you're right. I want a dragon. Because who doesn't want a baby dragon? So those are the things that you're being invited to learn and see regarding this issue. So the next 2 cards that I'm going to pull for you are from the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. And these are cards for what you need to change. So again, we got 1 upright and 1 reversal. And so, okay, sorry. Like, I don't look at these before I do the reading. So like, I'll see them and then like I see the other cards and I'm just like, yes, 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 except for like, you can't see it. So you're in suspense now. So my apologies. So the 2 cards that came out were the 4 of Swords and the Moon. And so the Moon card in reverse. So this is what it looks like upright. And it's a very, traditional depiction. We've got this little lobster coming out of the water, a wolf and a dog. This looks like the sun, but it's supposed to be the moon. Or maybe it is this. Well, that would be weird. Why would you have a sun in the moon card? But we've got this little unicorn face in the moon. So with it being reversed, I feel like it very much, not just because it's a reversal, it very much matches the 7 of Swords because it's the same energy of illumination. So the things you do in the dark will always come to the light. So if you're doing right and it comes to light, great. Now you're just humble, right? You're out here doing extra, for whoever, like maybe you're, I don't know, maybe this guy's like helping load these wooden swords into like a cart or something. Who knows? But, the things we do in the dark will always come to the light. So if you're doing good things and it comes to light that you're doing good things, you're not bragging about it, then you're humble. Great. If you are doing dirty and it comes to the light, now everybody knows that inkling that they had is correct. And the moon, the full moon illuminates the things that we can't see in the dark, right? So like whenever we have a full moon, it's unless it's cloudy, there's a brightness to the nighttime because the moon is so, it's just so bright. And it shines a light on the dark spaces or like the dark time of the day or the night that we wouldn't normally see. And so full moons are a time of illumination. The sun is the opposite from the moon. And, it allows us to see things in order to release them. And so the thing you're being invited to change is really seeing this 7 of Swords person or this 7 of Swords energy for what it is, and I don't know if maybe you are a very kind-hearted person because I mean, look at this little guy. Look at this little beaver. Little cutie patootie. I don't know if you're just a kind person that sees the best in people, or even if you're just so focused on making things happen that you don't look up and look around to see that this is kind of in your energy or in your field trying to take the crops that you've grown. But the thing, the thing that needs to change is that you really have to look at this, and it might be uncomfortable. I know a lot of people don't like confrontation, and I get it. I mean, I do, but I know not everybody does. So I get it. There's a lot of discomfort around that, but this is for your highest good. Like, you can't get here if you keep giving your cups away, or if you can't have all your cups if you are allowing people to come into your house that will take them without asking. Energetically, that's what it feels like. So the Four of Swords is the other card that came up for what needs to change. And this is a card of rest. And I feel like this very much aligns with the Warrior card, right? Because like I said earlier, there's more than, my cat's here, but he's not in the room. Anyway, so what I said in the beginning of the reading about the Warrior is that they don't get to rest. They rest enough for like the superficial wounds to heal so that they can get back on the battlefield, or they rest enough for like their major wounds to heal so that they can get back out there and fight. And so this thing that needs to change is you have to rest. Like you really have to focus on napping is a luxury, and I get it. Napping's not for everybody. I'm not a napper, so I get it. But really needing to focus on the quality of sleep that you get, your sleep routine, and I get it. When you're dealing with this, whether this is like in the workplace, in your personal life, you're being drained. And so like it's hard to recover from that and allow yourself time to like decompress from like everything that you're doing in the day-to-day and like how you've been operating for so long. But like you have to rest. You have to. And so I don't know if this looks like taking a vacation, if that's something that you're able to do. This could even be like turning on a do not disturb on your phone. Like this could be taking an hour, and like if it's a work situation, like saying, hey, I'm going to lunch. My phone's going to be on do not disturb. So if you need anything, I'll be back in an hour. This could be turning on a do not disturb at like 8 p.m. at night, so you can like wind down to get to bed by like 11. This could be like uninstalling social media. This could be not returning text messages. This could be saying no to hanging out, to going like to having these people in your space, in your home. Yeah. Rest. You need some rest. You deserve rest too. So these are the two things that you're being invited to change: to rest and to see the truth of the people around you that are taking cups that are yours. So the next card that I will pull is from the Moonology Oracle deck, and that is the card around how long will this last, like this kind of frustration with not getting what you want, or like how will things shift. And so this card is New Moon in Gemini, and so the message is communication is key. And so the new moon in Gemini happens during Gemini season, which starts at the end of June. So if you want to Google it or look at a calendar, like I know sometimes like calendars will have like the new moon on them. It should be around like June 20th, maybe 22nd. But you can Google like new moon in Gemini for 2023 and it'll come up. And so to me, communication being key. Let me gather my things. I'm struggling. Communication being key. Talking, over the next couple months, like talking to your support system about, wanting to just maybe wanting some support around like, how do I get from this 7 of Cups to this 10 of Cups, right? Like, how do I make the best choices for me to really feel like fulfilled and happy? Like, and I love that there's like a little animal friend in both of these. The family has a little dog and the girl has a little cat, so like, maybe you're a crazy cat lady like me and you talk to your cats. I don't really, because they just scream at me for food. But even spending a little extra time with like your fur babies. Or if you have a friend that has a dog, I don't know why that came to mind, but like that might be the friend that can support you. Also, communicating. And this is going to feel super confrontational. Communicating about this person that is taking from you, and not necessarily communicating to them, because this is going to get you gaslit all day, trying to tell this person that like, hey, I don't like that you do this, or I feel like this, like, so this communication, like when we look at the card of Gemini, it's, it's the two sides of Gemini, right? The twins. So the communication, this can be journaling to yourself, like maybe asking yourself, like, what are some of the ways that like this person might be trying to take advantage of me? Or if you're well aware of it, which I feel like you probably are, how does it make you feel? And like processing, communicating with yourself, like, it makes me really angry when this happens, or like this is the situation that came up with this person, because I feel like that communication, even if it's self-communication, like if you're able to journal the things about this situation that frustrate you, then what that does is it brings awareness to your mind that X happened and I got mad because I was taken advantage of, so that when X happens again, then you can you can recognize what's happening, right? So let's say this person is somebody you work with, you guys go to lunch and they forget their wallet all the time. And you are such a nice person who's really good at saving money. And so you always have extra, and everybody knows that. And because you have extra, because maybe you get paid a little bit more, or you're just a saver or whatever, then like, oh, like, well, I mean, you don't mind, right? Like, you don't mind. And so when that happens, you might be like, yeah, it's fine. But because you've communicated with yourself, because you've journaled about it, or maybe you talked to a therapist or a friend, there's light being shown on it. Right? The new moon is dark, but we've got the moon card, which is the full moon. So now we've got like light being shown on it. So now you can't unsee it. And now you can start to make those changes, right? Like you can, I was looking for this card. I'm like, where's this card? I'm holding it. Like now you can take a rest from going to lunch with whoever this jerkface Johnson is. You can take a rest from interacting with that person. You can do the things that you need to do, right? And maybe you do decide to communicate with them. Maybe you do decide to say like, maybe they're like, hey, let's go to lunch. And you're like, don't forget your wallet, bitch. Sorry, don't say that at work. Well, you're a grown up, but So how long will this last? Or when will things really start to shift? New moon in Gemini, kind of mid to late June. Okay, and so then the last, I got cards everywhere. The last 3 cards that I have for you, I don't know why I'm piling these up. Like I'm going to not be picking them up to show to you. What am I doing? The last 3 cards that I have for you are from the Animal Oracle, Wisdom for Healing, and the Kali Oracle. And those are support cards from the universe. So messages from the universe. Whew! Girl. I don't know if you're a girl or not. Bruh. Look at this. Phoenix. Renewal, right? Is it renewal? Okay. Yep, renewal. Renewed energy for the warrior, because your ass is going to take a nap or a vacation or just be done dealing with this bullshit. And maybe like let loose a little bit, right? Maybe let it be okay to pick random, or to have a lot of choices instead of just picking one. But yeah, all the hard work that you've done is moving you ever closer to this renewal and whatever this happily ever after is for you, which is amazing. I love it. So that was the first card. The next one is from the Wisdom for Healing, and it is Reflect on Pride and Ego. And so in the Warrior card, it talked about heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. And so the message for this card is, today's lesson is, acknowledge that negative pride causes more harm and suffering to relationships and to your overall life than can be measured. Notice where you're losing power because of false pride, and recognize that it's poison to your spirit and thus to your healing. Your goal is to reflect on matters of pride and ego. So for me, that's bringing this one up big, because I think in our society, and depending on like your religious upbringing as well, there's a lot of messages about be the bigger person. Be the bigger person. Like, you know that you have more than they do. Just, that they don't work as hard as you. You know that they don't save like you do. And you have so much. Just be the bigger person and just let them have those little extra things. Don't say anything. You have so much. Just be grateful you have so much. Like, all this, like, you get it. I'm like, yeah. So if you are operating in a place of suppressing your healthy pride and healthy ego in order to look like the better person or to be the better person or bigger person or whatever. I feel like these are such subjective kind of BS things. Kind of reflecting on that, right? That, like, allowing that, I lost a card. Allowing the illumination to happen so that there is enough light for you to accurately see yourself, right? That, like, are you trying to be this like heroic person? Are you trying to be this stoic person that doesn't have feelings and doesn't get upset and like nothing bothers? It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. It's fine. 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 It's not fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. Being quiet and buttoned up while allowing people to take what is not theirs taps you of what you've earned, zaps you of your energy, and puts you in a place of negative absence of pride, really. Because I think negative pride can be like, I don't know, like maybe being cocky or like just, you know, that energy, right? Or like even being egotistical. Like you're on the opposite spectrum of that, right? Where we've got like, you know, healthy ego would be in the middle. Like on the far aggressive end, it would be like this kind of cocky arrogance. And then on the opposite end of that is like a total lack of ego or lack of pride of self. And I kind of feel like that's where this is. So allowing that full moon to illuminate the truth about you, you know, about yourself. That it doesn't mean you're a bad person if you don't let people take advantage of you. And so the last oracle card that I have for you is the Blue Terra. Look at this beauty. So the message is, chaos will give way to the higher order of love. Let there be peace in your heart. As Blue Terra looks to her right, gazing toward the future, she sees a vision of your peaceful, protected, and authentically expressive future. You have every right to feel hopeful, happy, and secure in the destiny unfolding for you. Which is this? It's this one. So, this is coming. This is coming. I mean, this is yours. This has your name on it. All you need to do is recognize that the warrior self needs some rest, and that you don't need to continue to allow yourself to be taken advantage of. And so like the Blue Tarot card says, chaos will give way to the higher order of love. She sees a vision of your peaceful, protected, and authentically expressive future. So group number 2, snake group of transformation. That was your reading. So, oops, I'm knocking things over. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that it brought you some comfort. I hope it brought you some clarity around what the fuck is going on right now. And if you feel so inclined, if you would like to hit that like button to let me know that you enjoyed this video. Also, if I can support you in this, I would love to do that. Whether that's like positive thoughts, whether that's a little cheer of encouragement, whether that's me saying, next time these people bug you, pretend you're taking a nap and just don't respond to that message. Don't respond. Yes, so group number 2, that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I am wishing you so much beautiful rest, as well as lots and lots of heartfelt encouragement to reach out to those support systems around you. You do not have to do this by yourself. You are more than capable of doing it by yourself, which is probably what you've always done, but you don't have to. So I just want to send you so much heartfelt encouragement to reach out to the support systems around you. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 3. If you chose the Kingfisher card with the message for peace, this is your reading. So for this reading, I will be pulling, or not will be, I've already pulled cards from all of these decks here. And so I'll be pulling cards on a number of questions. The first one is, what is the issue? Like, what the fuck is going on right now? And so I have pulled 1 card from the Archetype Cards deck and 2 tarot from the Curious Creatures. For the next question, what do you need to learn or see? I pulled 2 cards from the Happy Tarot. What needs to change? 2 cards from the Crystal Unicorn deck. How long will the issue last, or how or when will things shift? That's from the Moonology deck. And then the very last group of cards that I pulled is support from the universe. And so that's a card from Animalkin Oracle, Wisdom for Healing Oracle, and the Kali Oracle. So, peace group number 3. Let's get into this reading. Okay, so the first card I have for you is the Avenger card in reverse. Very interesting. So this is what it looks like upright. Since it came up reversed, I'm going to read the shadow attribute of it, and that'll be the focus for the issue. So the Avenger card shadow attribute is resorting to violence in the name of a cause. So we've got this, I don't know if you're like a social justice warrior, maybe like some kind of activist, maybe you're just going around the world beating up racists, which, I mean, I'm not here to tell you what to do. So this Avenger card, shadow attribute, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Violence doesn't have to be physical violence, right? Like we can very much use violence in our language. And so that's the thing that kind of feels, it feels more appropriate. Like this doesn't feel like a card around physical violence. Like this kind of feels like using very strong words to possibly verbally assault people. And it also feels like being on the receiving end of it, right? Even though this talks about resorting to violence in the name of a cause, like this isn't saying that, like, I mean, it's implied that like this archetype does that, but that doesn't mean that this archetype is you, right? So you may very well be the person that's on the receiving end of some kind of verbal and I hope not physical violence. So this is the issue card that came up, the first issue card. So I pulled 2 tarot from this deck. So let's see what they are. Very interesting. Lovers and Page of Pentacles. Huh. Okay. So I think the thing that's coming up around the shadow attribute and the Lovers card is that this is a toxic relationship. Very maybe dangerous. You may have people around you that are concerned about this. This also doesn't, granted this is a general reading, but like if this is a romantic relationship, this feels very new. Like this doesn't feel like something that you've been in for like years. Like this feels like it's very like 3 to 6 months. And so if that resonates for you, this Page of Pentacles card that also came up around the issue, pentacles are time, energy, money. Pages are messengers. Pages can be a lot of times they can be mediums, you know, so someone that's getting like intuitive downloads, which I feel like is you, and you're not listening to that. So to me it feels like the issue is that you've come into a relationship, and this could be a friendship, but I'm really like, with the Lovers card, them being so snuggled up together. Like traditional lovers, it's not even traditional lovers, like a lot of depictions of the Lovers card, it's two people facing each other, which to me very much is like a mirroring energy. But with this, because they're so snuggled up, I feel like it's you've recently come into some kind of relationship with someone that is not good for you. And you know that they're not good for you, but you want them to be good for you. They could change. They just need time. They could change. They're not going to change. Sorry. I can't beat around the bush with this. You deserve so much better. You deserve so much better. It is not your responsibility to be the person that this guy or girl works out their personal issues with in relationship with you. Because that's what's happening. Like a lot of the negative stuff that's coming up, verbal altercations, like outbursts, yelling, screaming. Like it feels like screaming. Like it's, I think it's one thing to like yell when we're upset, like raising our voice. This, like, I hear screaming, like hysterical screaming, which does not imply female. Like it to me, it feels more like a man screaming. And you know that you're much better than this, but for some reason you don't want to hear your intuition telling you to go. And so we'll pull the next two cards to find out what you need to learn or see. And so both cards came up reversed, so I'm going to read them upright. If one was reversed and the other one wasn't, then I would read them as they were. But so the two cards that came up were the Knight of Swords and the Six of Cups. And so Six of Cups it's a card of reciprocity. Well, no, Six of Coins is reciprocity. Six of Cups is nostalgia. And so what came to mind is like a karmic relationship, or this is someone that you've known for a very, very long time, but you're just now entering into a romantic relationship with them. So this could be somebody that you grew up with, your families know each other, and he or she seemed like such an amazing, sweet person, but now that you're in relationship and all of their shit is being triggered, they become very nasty. And this card, let's drop the R. It's avenge, as in revenge. Very toxic. Golly. Oof. Okay. Sorry. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves to deal with that. And they may be a truly lovely person, but the time and space to work through whatever triggers and traumas are coming up in the context of your interactions, the place for that is called therapy. It's not called a romantic relationship. The place for that is not the parking lot of a restaurant. The place for that is not in a vehicle while it's moving. The place for that is not in the bedroom right after you've had sex. Like, the place for that is therapy or some other kind of professional mental health support agency system environment. Again, I'm not telling you what to do because that's not my place, but I'm just saying. Okay. So the thing that you need to learn to see is that, they may have come across as like this really loving, sweet, amazing person. And they can be both things, right? We can all, the name of the channel is Duality Unfolding. Duality is two opposing things at one time, or two disjointed, two unconnected things at one time. So you can be vengeful and be a kind, sweet, loving person in the same body, being, essence, person, in the same hour. Hell, in the same 15 minutes with this person even. And so I'm not trying to vilify this person. What I am saying is that whatever stuff is being triggered for them in this relationship, it is not your responsibility to fix that. You do not have to be the knight in shining armor. It is not your job to save them, because in all honesty, like, none of us can save anyone, right? We can only save ourselves. Like, we can't save other people. So if that's part of your belief system that like you can save them, then I think you're delusional. But But I think if you listen to your intuition, if we take this and we flip it up right and you listen to your intuition is going to tell you, get the heck out of there. Get on the horse and go. This Knight of Swords, like, knights are action, swords are a very fast moving card. And so I think that very quickly what you're going to see, with this person, with this relationship, is that it's not what you thought it was in the beginning. It's not what it was presented to be. They are not who they presented themselves as in the context of this relationship. I think you're also going to very quickly see that your intuition, I feel like your intuition is just going to get loud. It's just going to get a lot louder, and you won't be able to not hear it. So the next two cards that I have for you are from the Crystal Unicorn deck, and these are the things that need to change. So again, these both came up in reverse, so I'm going to read them as upright, and they are the Emperor and the Knight of Cups. Or sorry, not Knight of Cups. Nine of Cups. So the Emperor card, like this, you can see this Emperor is he, she, it, they. It's a unicorn. I don't know unicorn pronouns, but it doesn't matter. No. The Emperor is fully grounded in who they are. The Emperor knows who they are. Absolutely. And so the thing that needs to change is your awareness of how much power you have, not only when it comes to interactions with this person, but also how much power you have in the context of being in relationship and what healthy relationship is and is not, right? So in healthy relationship, there is a high level of autonomy that you can be in partnership with someone, you can be in relationship with someone, and you still get to be your own person, right? Like, you can be in relationship with someone and like you guys don't have to like the same sports team. Like, that's not a make or break. You guys don't have to like work out together if one of you never works out in the gym and they just run outside. Like, your partnership is not, healthy relationship is not losing yourself to like become a Siamese twin to the person that you're dating, right? So the thing that you're needing to change is remembering who the fuck you are. Remembering your power and who you were before this happened, before this relationship started. And like I said, this feels new, like 3 to 6 months. And so like, what is time, right? Time is like this construct that we made. And I think that we can all agree that like there are times in our life where a month feels so long. And then there's other times in our life where a month feels so fast. And so not judging yourself on how could I forget who I was in this short amount of time? Like, it doesn't, we're not here for judgment, right? We're not here for self-judgment. We're here to live our highest, best lives. And so the thing that needs to change is you need to remember what your power is. You need to remember that you have power. You need to remember who you are. And like, to me, your energy comes across as like this really bright, joyful, happy energy. And like this, right? Like these, like laughing, bubbly, happy, joking, carefree, like very wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. Well, there's no, this little, I don't even know what this is. This little creature. I can't see their tail, but bright, shiny, like bright little shiny eyes, rosy cheeks, joy, happiness, remembering that is who you are. That is the essence of you. And that it's been stolen away. This is big. To me, this is like big, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego vibes. This is big, like cat burglar. Like, this is so hokey, right? Like, why are you wearing a blindfold and like a map cloak, sir? Like, you're not blending in anywhere. Okay. So you need to remember who you are. That is one part that needs to change. And then the other thing that needs to change is this 9 of Cups. So 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups is also like being fully aware of how much that you have, of how much that is around you, how much that you have accumulated, amassed, received. And that I think sometimes we can want this so much that whoever comes along, we believe that they are our wish come true. No, no, honey. This is not the wish come. Your wish has not been completed. This is a lesson, right? Karmic relationship. There was a lesson. There's a lesson that you're being invited to learn about your power, how powerful you are, how to maintain your autonomy and power in relationship, so that you don't get caught up in the chaos of this, right? That this is not your one true love. This is not the last person on earth that's ever gonna love you. This is still healthy, joyful, tender, loving, reciprocal. Is there violence here? No violence. No violence here. Verbal, physical, energetic, even. Like, there's this healthy, positive, beautiful is the wish that you're waiting for. And so the thing that has to change is that you have to recognize that the situation that you are in is not what you've been waiting for, and that you don't have to continue to give your power away to this because you're afraid that you'll never have this. Okay, how long will this situation last, or when will things shift? So that's the Moonology card. And so the energy is gaining momentum, and it's waxing moon. Gosh. I can never remember the difference between waxing and waning moon. I want to say, I feel like I don't have my moon app. If you want to Google April 2023 waxing moon, it might be happening pretty quickly because the new moon is the 20th. So it might be, what is today? The 7th? it might be 15th to 17th. So granted, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you watch this, you can Google the next waxing moon. But if you're watching this in real time, I feel like this, whenever you're watching it, I feel like the change of you remembering your power and realizing that this is not your wish come true is going to happen very quickly. Because this, this waxing moon, like, this isn't, if this was like maybe a new moon or a full moon, that would indicate maybe like, like a 30-day window, or even an eclipse would be like a much farther time frame. But I feel like with this waxing moon, like this, like you're going to come to realize this change very quickly, because like I said, your intuition's going to get loud, and once you really are able to listen to your intuition, you remember who you are, you realize that this relationship connection is not the dream come true that you're wanting and looking and hoping for, then it's going to be very difficult for you to see this person as this anymore. Like, it's really going to cause this to completely disappear around that connection. So the last set of cards that I have for you are the universe, or the messages from the universe. So the first one is from the Moonology Oracle, and it is deer, and the message is grace. And so I feel like this is very much you, right? This is very much you, that you don't want for this person, you don't want to not see this about this person, right? You have so much grace for them. And like I said, it could be that you guys have a past. There could be a family connection. There could be a friend connection. There could be like just some kind of longevity that you guys have had where you've been around each other for a long time. And then, taking it to the next level really kind of revealed this about them. And so like having grace for other people, I think, is a beautiful thing. Like you're not gonna meet violence with violence, because that's not who you are, and you also don't have to, right? I mean, it's like like the saying, like, fight fire with fire. Like, that doesn't work. Like, you can't use fire to put fire out, or maybe you can. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but not a fireologist or whatever they're called. But the message from the universe, which I feel like is very much an embodiment of your energy, is grace. And so with this deer message, I feel like spring is here, depending on where you live. And so like whenever, like if you start to see deer, there's also, it's really small, the number, oh, can you see it? The number 4. Is it going to focus? Maybe not. The number 4 in the middle of the card. So if you see 44, 444, or if you just see a lot of 4s, like that is that message from the universe that like, I'm with you. I got you. I'm with you. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. You got this, power and grace. It's going to be okay. So the next card that I have for you is the Wisdom for Healing, and that is practice visualization. So the message is, today's lesson is visualize what you need to heal or create in your life. The image needs to fill all 7 chakras, so consciously place that picture into each of them. With your breath, animate those images, bring them to life, and fill your being. Your goal is to practice and believe in the power of visualization. So I feel like when you're visualizing, my hands are too small. When you're visualizing, just making sure that you, I'm not going to try to pick all these up. When you're visualizing, visualizing like that really tender, loving relationship that you want and putting that into each of your chakras, right? Like in your root chakra, that would be safety. In your sacral chakra, that would be passion. In your solar plexus chakra, that would be autonomy and the ability to express yourself. In that heart chakra, that would be like that really, this really tender, loving connection. In that throat chakra, it would be the ability to speak up for yourself, right? To not have your requests, your actions like questioned or met with like verbal violence. That third eye chakra, like connecting to your intuition. And then the crown chakra. I feel like that's really like the knowing of who you are. Yeah. So the last oracle card I have for you is from the Kali Oracle, and it is this gorgeous depiction of Kali Ma. And the message is: check your boundaries and affirm your right to express and receive both kindness and respect. Y'all, I can't. That's not even the whole I cannot. Okay, sorry. Let me read that again. Check your boundaries and affirm your right to express and receive both kindness and respect. Embrace your softer side and your ability to stand up for yourself. You are a unique being. You do not need to conform to stereotypes. As you relax into your authentic self, the best method to accomplish what is needed shall spontaneously arise from within. Okay, so you have the right to express and receive both kindness and respect. Embrace your softer side and your ability to stand up for yourself. You are a unique being. You do not need to conform to stereotypes. As you relax into your authentic self, the best method to accomplish what is needed shall spontaneously arise from within. I feel like that intuition card is important too. Yep. Know your power. You deserve this. It is coming. The change that's needed is for you to remember your power. And in doing that, this issue will make its way out of your life. So group number 3, Kingfisher Peace Group. That was your reading. So if you enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. I know this one was tricky. This is a very tricky situation, but you have grace and power. And where's the Devi card? I don't know. How did I lose a whole card? Oh. I lose a whole card on this small desk. So you have grace, you have power, and you have the Divine Mother, Kali Ma, on your side, protecting you from any threats, don't worry. Yeah. Get out of there as quick as you can. Yeah. And if you know, if you need support, like I highly encourage you to reach out to, you know, your support systems, and please, please, please make sure that you are safe. Please, please, please make sure that you are safe. So group number 3, that has been your reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.